Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Meditation with Annemarie part 6 on my series on coping with change using your inner power. So today we're going to draw our sixth power for us to practice out of my book Will to Wonder, Principles on the Loss and Recovery of Power. And the foundation of the book is based on our teachings as Brahma Kumaris. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do so now. And let's draw a power for us to practice for the next fortnight to help us cope with change and to help us cope with life in general. Let's see which power. Another one of our master powers. Remember in the last sessions I've mentioned 8 master powers. So I think this is our 5th or our 4th master power in a row. So that's pretty good. So this one is called the power to face. It's about having the courage. So the ability to face any person or situation with courage means to face any obstacle head on, not with force but with love, as a means to transform them. I see test papers in life as an opportunity to transcend any restrictive or limiting habit or dependency. I turn negative into positive. I am the lioness. I am not a victim. I am a master. And the supporting virtues that can help us strengthen our power to face are self-respect, humility, confidence, self-confidence, that inner love for the self, not based on how I look. Diplomacy. So we need to be quite diplomatic when we're trying to face a heated situation with love. And to be able to be strong yet gentle and have a sense of humour. So our power to face, beautiful power, another one of my favourite powers. I've used it a lot to help me get through situations in life. So let's start with a meditation. So sitting comfortably and quietly, starting with just a couple of gentle, even breaths deep down into your belly as a means to relax your mind and to relax your body. You can have your eyes open or you can have your eyes closed. It doesn't really matter. If you keep your eyes open, just remember to focus on the spot in front of you and just gently rest your gaze there. So as you're sitting there breathing calmly, allowing your body to relax and your mind to become calm and quiet, I want you to use your courage to turn inward with love and just be with your own self, to get to know who you are so that you can face any situation with love, to be able to say no with love and to be able to say yes with love. So use this time of self-reflection to simply turn inward, to strengthen your different virtues as a means to empower yourself and to empower those around you. For many, to turn inward and to look at your own weaknesses and indeed your own strengths can be quite challenging, can be quite confronting, and often there is courage needed. Courage doesn't mean that there is no fear. Courage means I feel the fear, but I'm going to use my courage to overcome that fear. And when I turn inward enough, I start tapping into my own inner strengths. As I start to recognize my own beautiful light and peace and power. And you will notice that as you start to turn inward and to start tapping into your own power and peace and light, you will start seeing the world in a different light. You will start feeling more in control of your own responses, making courage ever so powerful. So just sit here for a little while, just quietly as you turn inward, using your courage to draw out some of your strengths, to release some of your weaknesses. So firstly, let's show that courage. And let's look at some of these weaknesses. Let's look at fear. Fear is a natural fight or flight response for the body. It's an emotion that helps us stay safe. But when we let fear drive us in an irrational way, based on past situations, life can be difficult and challenging, unnecessarily complicated. So let's start by just simplifying our life. And let's separate irrational fear from rational fear. Rational fear is your instinct, human instinct, that tells you that you may be in danger, giving you the strength to fight or to flee. Irrational fear will kick in the adrenaline in the same way, but it'll be based on past situations not occurring right now. So we need to let go, release this irrational fear. For this irrational fear holds us back from shifting and changing and healing. And it holds us back from showing our power. It holds us back from contributing and making a difference in the world. So just sit there for a while and use your power to face. And just give yourself permission, just for now, to just look at some of your weaknesses, maybe such as fear or anger or blame or shame or insecurity or arrogance. And breathe them out and release them and let them go. And as you breathe in, I want you to fill that space, because there will be an empty space now, because you've cleared room for you to fill yourself up with your beauty, with your love, with your power, your virtues, your inner strengths, such as determination, compassion, cooperation, acceptance, tolerance, so many more virtues. So get used to, get comfortable with the uncomfortable, because you need to start owning your virtues, your strengths, as a means to let go of your weaknesses and any limitations or negativities in your life. Om Shanti. So, our power to face. What I love about this particular power is it gives you the strength. So first of all, courage, power to face. To use our courage doesn't mean that I have no fear, but to feel the fear and do it regardless. Where, of course, once I've worked out whether it's an irrational fear or a rational fear, if I'm genuinely in danger, if I'm being exposed to hurting, getting hurt physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, then my human instinct will kick in and my adrenal glands will pump the body with adrenaline to get me out of harm's way. If it's an irrational fear, it'll be, it's more based on past experiences and how we've shaped our beliefs around that experience, which often leaves us with it can leave us with, if it's been a negative experience, a fearful experience, it will leave a sour taste in our mouth, and that memory will trigger that fear if we don't find ways to overcome it. And so we need to learn to learn to listen to our intuition, which is different to our instinct. Intuition belongs to the soul. Instinct belongs to human. So understanding intuitively that I have courage within me, that I have power within me, and to help me overcome those weaknesses, those inconsistencies in my own life, those behaviors that keep pulling me back and sabotaging my forward progress. So to be able to shift those inconsistencies takes courage. To be able to look at my own weaknesses takes courage. To be able to take responsibility for my life as it stands today takes courage. It's much easier to point the finger of blame elsewhere, outside of myself, blame someone, something else other than me. It takes a lot of courage to accept my own mistakes and my own inconsistencies, my own weaknesses, my own misunderstandings and misinterpretations. Oh, excuse me. So the more I learn to use my power to face, the easier I will become. I'm able to keep moving forward. Don't wait till you become fearless, because you're never going to make it out the gate. So use your power to face and call up that inner courage within you to help you face uncomfortable situations head on with that love, not with force. Our power to face uses assertiveness, not aggression. There's a big difference. If I'm forcing my opinion, or if I'm forcing someone else to change, I'm being aggressive. That's not assertive. Assertive means I'm so clear on my own role in life, I'm clear on my own purpose in life. I have nothing to prove. Courage helps us step out of our comfort zone. It helps us get comfortable with the uncomfortable, because we have to heal that stuff. If we keep suppressing our weaknesses or suppressing our mistakes and not deal with things as they happen, it accumulates and it brings us to where we are in our life today. So if you're not happy in your life, you need to look at where you can start using some of your courage to help you change the roles that you want to play. We all have choices in life. When we understand our inner power, because otherwise we will be driven by compulsions and reactions rather than responses. And that's fear-driven, not courage-driven. When I'm fear-driven, I'm going to be very reactive in life, and chances are I'm probably going to be more of a detriment to myself and to others, because I'm going to be looking for weaknesses instead of looking for strengths. I'm going to be looking for things that I can critique, judge. So best I just keep working on my own courage and try and use that to help me shift the fear, because if I don't change fear into courage, or transform the fear by using my courage, life's going to weigh me down and fear is going to block me. So I'm going to always think that I'm either not good enough because I'm not going to succeed in whatever my outcome is. It could be simple as facing your enemy. It's much easier to face your enemy than it is to face a friend, or than it is to face your own inner insecurities, your own inner weaknesses and demons. It's much easier to face an enemy. So it takes an enormous amount of courage and love to be able to turn inward and look at yourself and get to know who you are, as a means to release these weaknesses, and as a means to show others a way to release their weaknesses. So that way we can stop blaming each other, and we can start supporting and encouraging each other, and start being kind to each other, because we've got nothing to hide. We've got nothing to, we don't fear exposure because we have nothing to hide. We're honest about our fears and how we're using our courage to overcome those fears. So often, for example, if you need to face a friend, it can be quite challenging, or facing your own inner demons, it can be quite challenging. So we've got to be able to start doing that with love, to be able to, because when we face it with love, one, we don't risk getting caught between passive aggressive behavior where I become a pushover and then I become a bully, yeah, which happens a lot in life, and it's easy to justify and explain away because I'm having a bad day, or because I believe it's someone else's fault. Life, what I hear a lot is, you don't understand, life is very complicated. So I have to remind people, well, who's making it complicated? It takes courage to not make my life complicated. It takes courage to be able to step away what looks like normal, and popular and comfortable. And, it doesn't mean I have to do it hard. I have to get rid of that habit of doing it hard. But it doesn't mean that I step away from a challenge, especially when it comes to equality, when it comes to peace, when it comes to love, when it comes to breaking down walls of violence and systemic abuse of power right across the board. I need to use my power to face, to not go down the same path as those who are abusing power. Because if I don't consciously change it, it's very easy for me to become the same and then to start justifying. So it takes courage to step away and to stand on your own. It takes a lot of courage, but it's liberating, and it's very freeing nonetheless. So it is very, very important to be able to use your power to face. And you will be grateful and pat yourself on the back for just simply having a go. It takes courage to just show up in your life every day. But you're not going to not show up, are you? Because life is still beautiful. Life is still worth living. So let me keep cultivating my inner courage so that I can overcome or work through any fears, whether it is to stand up for myself with love, whether it is to confront a situation, a really uncomfortable or perhaps a heated situation. It can be quite scary. So taking a breath and reminding myself that I am a powerful, peaceful soul, and then coming from that basis, that's what will keep me assertive and not passive aggressive. Courage is cultivated through experience, through taking a step of courage and recognizing the support, the spiritual support that comes and helps you. So we learn through experience and we upgrade through experience. To be able to keep using my internal connection as my external protection is what will help me cultivate my unwavering faith, because we have to believe in possibilities. And when I believe that it's possible, that's all I need to know, that it is possible, it opens up a doorway. And that doorway will come with gentleness, because it will come from a space of love, not from a space of force or fear or arrogance. So let's just finish off with a meditation, and let's finish off with a visualization to strengthen our imagination, to help us cope and strengthen with courage. To help us cope with life by strengthening our inner power, and today it's courage. So let's finish off with a meditation. So once again, just sitting calmly and quietly, taking a couple of breaths, once again deep down into your belly, and release any tension, any fears, any uncertainties. Just checking in with yourself now, making sure your posture is nice and straight, sitting up nice and tall, shoulders back yet relaxed. I want you to turn inward now into your imagination, into your mind's eye. And I want you to imagine, I want you to see yourself as a peaceful warrior with a lioness heart, the heart of a lioness, strong, powerful, brave, yet gentle. And I want you to just be that peaceful warrior. I want you to stand there in your power. And I want you to just look once again at both your strengths and your weaknesses with love in your heart. Except this time I want you to imagine that all your strengths, all your virtues are like the armor that a knight or a warrior would wear. But the armor is like a water repellent. So imagine having your armor, your water repellent on, and any weaknesses, either from yourself or from others, any negativities, any anger, any fear projected at you from others, just watch it all wash off. Imagine that's the water, and your virtues, your armor, is the water repellent. So just watch them hit the armor and just roll off, because it cannot penetrate your shield, your armor of virtues, of power. And I don't even want you to see yourself fighting. I just want you to see yourself peacefully, powerfully standing, ever so strong, ever so stable, unwavering faith, and just letting anything, any negativity just roll off. Repelled by your virtuous armor. You don't need to fight. You don't need to be aggressive. You don't need to prove yourself or make others hear you. Just be silent in your powerful, peaceful, water repellent armor. And notice after a while, whoever is throwing these arrows or whatever they are, this anger at you, notice after a while they stop, because they recognize that your armor is way stronger than their arrows of anger and fear and blame. and just watch them walk away one by one as you still stand there quietly, peacefully, powerfully. Om Shanti.